Yes, I saw that.
I didn't
Thank you.
know. I was like,
You're so
and I wrote my
kind.
name. Can you hear? Your card's here, and I
Oh,
meant to put it.
You're very sweet, very sweet.
Anyway, go ahead. What?
Okay. Can Joellen hear me?
Yes, I think, yeah.
Okay. How are you doing?
We can't hear you.
Are you good?
It's
It says mute.
mute.
We're reading her lips.
Let me.
There you go. Ask time.
Oh, she's on mute.
Yeah, she's on mute. You're recovering okay? Yes, still can't hear.
Yeah, we still can't hear you.
Talk
Sorry.
louder.
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
What, me? We can't hear.
Can't hear you. Talk louder.
I'm not that old yet, Dale.
Just say, they get Can you hear me?
What happened?
Okay. Knee surgery.
That's right. That's right. Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Okay,
That's all the support you could scrounge up, Doug?
Hey, that'll be here.
they're still on the clock. They got 9 minutes left, so no.
Oh.
Chad's coming in the door, so I'll tell him when he gets here. Are we that all we're missing?
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. As long as you can hear me, Joe Ellen, I'm gonna talk to y'all real quick about
Okay.
something that is not city council business, so no.
Okay, so we'll get
excited.
started.
Yeah. Hello, Councilman Schmides. Okay, real quickly, there is a friendly competition between Bernie's Beach House and the Gap going on amongst Christmas holiday light and decorations.
Oh.
They have requested that, the 7 of us, and I believe some other people, judge their lights for them.
Oh.
So I have, if you so choose,
Okay.
Yeah.
over the next, from the 20th to the 24th, if you will be so inclined to go into Bernie's or into the Gap
Oh.
and
Inside.
look at their decorations and then return your cheat
Okay.
sheets to me,
To you.
because apparently
Okay.
somehow I became the judge.
Oh, nice.
Um,
I like the boat parade.
yeah, so in your free time, the 20th
In your
to the
free time.
24th,
Let's all go have a drink.
That's all.
hit the bars.
Some of my kids.
That's fine, that's fine.
Okay, I'm going
Do I have
out
to
of town,
stop
but
and
I'll be
sing
back.
anything?
20th to the
22nd.
24th. Anytime, you don't have to stay all night. I think they expect you to go in,
Bernie's and the Gap.
fill out your score sheets.
Oh,
I'll
the
get
smoke
done
and-
real well.
No, one,
No.
one's the Gap and one's
Yeah,
Bernie's.
There's one for each.
Yeah, so, will
We
you
end
be
up taking
here?
our guys.
I will
Yeah.
be here.
I will.
But listen, they don't have to
It's
come
not
back
bad, it's
to
a
me
door.
until the 31st.
Oh,
Because I'm
Oh, but that's when the
announcing,
judge
I'm
is.
telling them the winner on the 1st.
So we can take a picture of this and send it to you.
You can take a picture and send it to me.
Perfect.
Yes, that would
All
be
right,
awesome.
good.
And Joellen, I don't know if you're gonna be moving around, but I will take a picture of these and send them to you. And if you have a chance to judge some Christmas lights, I'll let you do it. I'll text it to you. I don't know what she said. but I know.
I still can't hear you, Joe.
So, anyway,
Oh, wait.
Oh, there it is.
Try it now.
There to cheer.
Say something. It still says mute. But for a second, wait.
No, we can't.
It was- The Florida County was very gnarly.
Yeah, I saw that. I was watching it.
We have a lot.
Like you need to. Yes.
I don't know if we can switch. to-
almost like, what?
The other night was fun.
It had something
Boat
that-
parade.
Oh, the boat
I
parade was
enjoyed
awesome.
that. That was easy and,
Yeah, and I have some extras, if you threw up on your sheet,
oh, okay.
but anyway,
Neither was for me.
yeah, in all your free time.
Hey.
I'm
And
leaving.
just so you know, So they're both putting in money each bar, and then whoever wins is gonna give it to the Trinity by the Day School.
Okay, that's cool.
Yes.
So
Nothing.
That's cool.
this is not just free here.
It's not just,
Well.
it's a real
Or no,
thing.
we gotta try something, 'cause it's frustrating.
Why? Because the next day.
On,
Oh, this is a quorum. I've got to understand.
Me and your show?
RFQ, I read through everything over the last weekend. Yeah, it looks like
Okay, let's.
everybody submitted staff
Plan.
goes who
I'm
they
coming back on the second.
ratifying what
That's the-
the goes.
We
It didn't look like, at the end, it looked like the
Okay.
decision's already made.
Yeah, yeah. I think you do. Yeah. you
Thank you.
text. That'll be fun. We'll make a fun thing of it. Oh, you know what? I should get one of those for.
On the art, on any kind of art, they do a score.
Take Kelly's place.
They're gonna be around.
I don't know what they're
doing.
Okay.
Because like the ordinance, it was written at the end with the
Yeah, this is not-
letter in there.
Yeah.
So that's why.
That's-
Son is a little
It's like,
private.
but where you can't do anything. It's like it's fine.
He should be.
Contractors too, which is a little bit different job.
That one was small.
That's what I thought.
Well, the two that they came up with, it's funny because
So I spent the next day.
I've worked with the Dykeman side, more of Levy Dykeman on the Levy side.
What we call Jordan.
One of our good friends for the, it's like she works for Stanford. I was actually sitting at their house in Austin. Reading.
So I'll let you know. You're all in it, so we're doing that day.
They have a footprint down here.
I know Dykeman does. They're possible trying to get more involved.
Oh.
Some of them, kind of, you know.
We'll do them in January.
And then, what's her name? Major?
Yeah, because it was just,
Well, she-
this 45th.
They had hers a hired
Yeah.
gun, 3 or 4 different.
No, we'll do it in January.
I've had to deal with her on. Stu permit
Yeah,
stuff.
we'll get them in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's a little bit.
We
everywhere.
had, the judge had sort of.
Oh,
So he's out. We'll do them in January.
everybody?
No, just the judge. We'll
Okay,
do the others.
do him in
We'll
January.
do him in January. He said, Judge, I am up there. I said, no, don't drag me up here. No, we'll do him in January. Yeah. Judge, careful. Do you need help?
Fucking get up here. Joel, anywhere cool?
Doug, did you pay people?
That's not cool.
No. it's not cool.
Man, Doug's gonna be in debt.
Got the whole crew. You know how to draw a crowd. I feel bad.
Want me to put my hat on?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's gonna be so much better.
That time of year.
Yeah, we'll be.
Oh, the sun's setting right in the window?
Yeah, you wanna trade me places? Well, don't ask me to make any motions, cause I can't see it.
You wanna sit by.
It looks like.
Apparently she's the go-to person.
Your name's.
You were over there in the city.
Yes. that makes sense. Yeah, it's- All right, ready when you are, Fran.
Here, right, right.
Okay. All right, you guys ready?
Ready, Santa?
Okay, it's 5 PM. We're going to call the city council regular meeting to order Thursday, December 18th. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I believe,
Stokes.
Thomas?
Fair.
what's that?
Chief Stokes.
Oh, okay. I was looking for someone else, but I'm delighted that we'll have Chief Stokes lead us in prayer.
Sure. Okay, everybody, please pray with me. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to serve our community. Grant us wisdom and charity and unity as this council makes decisions that impact our city and our community. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
All right, item 3 is public hearing. The Port Aransas City Council will conduct a public hearing on the following. Plan 25-29 replat of lots 8A1, 8A2, and 8B1, Block 34 State Land Survey on Mustang Island, being a replat of lots 8A and 8B, Block 34 State Land Surveys on Mustang Island, City of Port Aransas, Nueces County, Texas, according to the plat recorded in volume 53, page 138, map records of Nueces County, Texas. Applicant is Chapel on the Dunes LLC.
Marlene Lawson, member, property location 620 East Avenue B. Is there anyone here wishes to speak on this item? All right, hearing none, we'll close the public hearing and we'll move on to item 4, which is proclamations and presentations. We have several. This is a time of the year that we normally have recognition of service awards for city employees and their tenure within the city. Normally that's done at the big city luncheon that's held typically on Friday, and that we didn't get to do, but I think it's most appropriate too that we do it here in the city council to honor those here who have amazing tenure records with the city. So certainly first up, and maybe most important, right, Doug? You're getting some nods from them back there, is our Public Works Director, Doug Turner, who has is celebrating, commemorating 25 years of service with our city. So Doug, please come up so we can honor you and stare at you and take pictures with you. And I'm going to say a few words about you. And I love that you have some of your employees here to support you. I think that says a lot. So we want to thank Doug for his 25 years of service of unwavering commitment to the city of Port Aransas. Your experience and your leadership continue to make a positive impact every day. Mr. Turner began his employment with the city of Port Aransas in 2000, which seems like forever ago, right? Just yesterday. As an operations worker in the Public Works Department. And in 2008, he was promoted to supervisor. In 2023, Mr. Turner was promoted to the Public Works Director, a role in which he has continued to serve the city with dedication and experience. And I know we wouldn't be the same without you, Doug. So thank you very much for your service and your friendship and your leadership and all those things. So I think we have a prize.
Prize.
Right, yeah.
Oh, the big one. Very nice. There you go. Paperweights, you're welcome.
You better be here for when your office opens, you can.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you, Doug.
Okay. Next, and certainly also most important, our IT Director, Peggy Wirt. Peggy, please come to the. Peggy is celebrating 20 years with the city of Port Aransas. Peggy, your dedication and hard work over the past 20 years has been instrumental to our success. You've made a positive impact on the city for sure. For those of you who aren't aware, Ms. Wirth began her career with the city in the Development Services Department as a building clerk and later advanced to the position of the Information Technology Director, a role which she has held since 2007. Throughout her tenure, Ms. Wirth has demonstrated exceptional professionalism, leadership, and dedication. And I don't know how anybody would be making it around here without you, Peggy. So thank you very much for everything that you've done. 20 years and you're only 20. So isn't that awesome? Yeah. Woo-hoo.
Thank you. We all need you.
Sapphire.
Hey, look at that. It's in Peggy's budget.
Yeah.
Thank you, Peg.
Okay, next we have our administrative assistant, Josie Ginter. Where is Josie? Not here. That's right. Okay, well, I'm going to say something about Josie because she deserves it. Congratulations of 20 years of service to the city of Port Aransas. We appreciate her dedication and her service as well. So for those of you, Ms. Ginter began her career with the city of Port Aransas, also in the Development Services Department as a building clerk, and then later transferred to the Public Works Department, where she has served as the Public Works Administrative Assistant throughout her tenure. She's demonstrated also very much professionalism, dedication, and strong commitment to her public service. She is retiring this January, so let's give her a round of applause. Okay, last but not least, your very own esteemed city manager, David Parsons. who is also celebrating 20 years of dedication and service. Mr. Parsons began his career with the city of Port Aransas as the Planning and Development Director, where he oversaw Public Works Department and also fulfilled the responsibilities as the Planning Director. In 2013, he was promoted to City Manager, and throughout his tenure, Mr. Parsons has demonstrated exceptional leadership, dedication, providing outstanding service to the city and the citizens. David, it goes without saying, I know we would not be in the place that we are today without your leadership and your direction and your strength and your everyday commitment to not only the city, but this community. And thank you very much for everything you've given us. So we might give you one day off
Yeah,
and a glass paperweight.
yeah, and a glass table.
Okay, perfect day.
Yours is not a real sapphire.
Oh. Wasn't in the.
Blue, all right.
Yeah.
Do a few, just a second.
All right.
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, sir.
You're appreciated.
Doug, you gotta stay the rest of the meeting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Leave before we get started.
We do have a service award that will be for Judge Duncan Neblett. His tenure with the city has been 45 years. He couldn't make it tonight, but we certainly want to celebrate him in January. So if you see him out there and you didn't know that he's been here that long, please tell him thank you for his service, because 45-year commitment is pretty incredible, like really incredible. So, all right. Thank you to all of you. Thank you,
Thanks,
all of you.
guys.
Merry Christmas.
Don't go pawn that. I don't want to see that in the Ramsey Pass pawn shop.
Don't go. Got his name on it, we'll find it.
It'll be there in a couple of years on the shelf.
Name scratched out. All right.
The second time around, Stuart.
We're going to move on to 5, which is citizen comments and reports. We have one citizen comment, and it is Brett Staywar. So Brett, come on up.
Visuals here.
3 minutes. Okay, well, we'll be real quick.
Take as long as you want for this.
Okay.
Yes, please. Yeah, this is really like an award and presentation.
Not from me either. So this
Yeah.
is on behalf of the Port Aransas Chamber of Commerce Foundation and some work after Harvey to help raise funds for the safety first responders complex. Make sure I get the name right and all that's going on there. So we had created the foundation to the New Day Port Aid
Right.
Fund, as well as the foundation right after Harvey, like minutes after Harvey, I think, and started collecting those funds. I believe HEB gave a lead gift of $150,000. And then several other folks that I want to name tonight also gave donations, including John Durham, Dan Hughes, Albert Hasser, Carl Fehlbaum, Stephen Sons, Dan McCarty, the Patrick Zock Children's Foundation, Mr. and Mrs. Steve Pitt, and that total of $284,000 that we wanted to present to you tonight. But that wasn't a round enough number, so we wanted to boost that up a little bit from the foundation itself and give you even $300,000 to go toward the complex. So I've given the check to Darla already. Have a check here for you all.
And why don't you get up with?
Yeah, that's awesome.
We'll get a picture of you two. You guys can hold it. There you go.
That's really good. That's,
Like a Happy Gilmore check.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah. Oh, and remind, we got to do a little plaque.
Yeah.
Yeah, that needs to.
We got to do a little brass plaque.
Darla has all the names.
Yeah. So, okay, Darla, you got all the names?
I do remember, and I think it's important to note because of the city council involvement. Back then, some of us were on city council, but I will say, and I was on the New Day Port A Foundation, which we all did things in our community, right, to support people back then. But Beverly Bollner, who was a city council woman at that time, really did a lot of the effort to get a lot of that money donated to the New Day Foundation. And so I want to be able to make sure and recognize her and give her recognition for all that hard work.
Yeah,
And
we said that back
Yes.
then, we said we could do a little platform. So
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
Wanted to get
For the
it
building.
now. It's almost built. It'll be built 2026, right? We'll be all done.
Yeah.
So I can finish that off and then put that to good use. So.
Well, we thank you very much,
Yes,
Brett.
thank you. Thanks for not.
Good to be the check bearer. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, thank you for helping add to it
I
instead
remember
of,
when Darla first told him about the money, he was like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's awesome. It's a great surprise, so thank you very much. Okay, all right, well, we'll move on to the consent agenda, item 6. And in the consent agenda are city council meeting minutes from our special meeting, which was November 12th, and our regular meeting on November 18th. Anybody have any comments, wish to pull any item, or do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, any further discussion? Fran, please call the roll.
Councilmember Christensen,
Yes.
Councilmember Chambers,
Yes.
Councilmember Bowman,
Yes.
Councilmember Schmidt,
Yes.
Councilmember Krueger. Mayor Tim Crawford,
Yep, she said yes.
okay, and Mayor Moore,
Yes,
motion carried.
all right. All right,
We can hear it. We can see it.
7 items for consideration. B, resolution approving the reappointment of the Honorable Judge Duncan Neblett, Nueces County Justice of the Peace, as the City of Port Aransas Municipal Court Judge for a 2-year term ending in December 31st, 2027. All right, I don't, mean, I'll read this aloud. Do we have to have some discussion about it? What? I don't know if everyone has read the agenda item through. Someone's ready to make a motion.
A motion to approve the reappointment of Honorable Judge Duncan Neblett, Nueces County Judge, Justice of the Peace, as the City of Port Aransas Municipal Court Judge for a 2-year term ending December 31st, 2027.
I'll second.
May I make,
Yes, we need to have
Oh.
the request. He is, did you read the item?
Yeah.
There's a request on the item also
It's on.
for an increase in his compensation. So we need to,
So we need to add that in.
if that's your recommendation, yeah. There's an annual compensation increase request from 52,000 to 72,000. What, Darla, do you know when the last time his contract fee was negotiated and what it was?
I do not, I thought he went from 50 to 52, and I think it's been about 4 years. I think it was the last time we did this contract that went out. It was a 4-year contract. It's a 2-year contract. 2-year contract.
But we don't have any historical data about where that's. And if you, there was a letter request in there which substantiates the information and why he's requesting the hourly rate increase. Or the annual salary, which correlates to an hourly rate.
And we'll just be adding this to the motion that Chad, we're just adding the verbiage to it. I could restate it once.
Mhm.
2019.
It was the contract that went into effect from December 27th. That's the last.
That was the last time he received an
An
increase. Okay.
Years ago.
2017?
19.
The contract was 2017, but it ended 2019. It was contract from 27 to 19. The last two contracts he has not had. It's a state of 52.
Okay.
So 4 years.
The budget is at 52, so you would be approving the budget and if you go up.
Almost fit if it was 2019.
Will that just be an action item then next time?
We do the
Okay,
resolution for the budget amendment for the year.
okay.
Okay, so we can.
Yeah, so he's been at
This-
52K since 2017.
Almost, yeah.
45 years of service, page 21, his letter states what he's asking his request. I say we do it,
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Okay,
whatever we need to do to include them.
Mm-hmm.
all right.
Hold on, I gotta, I don't have touch screens. Mo- Motion to approve the reappointment of the Honorable Judge Duncan Neblett, Nueces County Justice of the Peace, a City of Port Aransas Municipal Court Judge for a 2-year term ending December 31st, 2027, and approve the $20,000 per year increase from $52,000 to $72,000 in salary.
I'll second it.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, Fran, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Owens,
Yes.
Councilmember Krueger. Councilmember Schmidt,
Yes.
Councilmember Chambers,
Yes.
Councilmember Christensen,
Yes.
Chairperson Crawford.
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, awesome. All right, item C is an ordinance, first and only reading amending Article 9 of the City of Port Aransas, Texas Code of Ordinance, providing for the imposition and levy of the hotel motel tax in the City of Port Aransas as approved at an election held within the city on November 4th, 2025. The purpose of effectuating a venue project consisting of an arena, coliseum, stadium, or other type of arena facility, including any related infrastructure, providing for collection, reporting, record keeping, and remittal requirements and procedures related to the imposition of a hotel occupancy tax, making certain findings and determinations regarding the city's venue project, creating the venue project fund required by Chapter 334 Texas Local Government Code as amended, providing for the use of money in the fund and authorizing other matters in connection therewithin and providing for an effective date.
Okay, so this is the venue tax that was voted on in November, and it requires a one reading ordinance change to chapter 22. And basically what we're doing is adding it into that blank section that's in the reserve section 2274 to 2280. So it's in your packet. It's the red portion of I think it's all in red. It's in red in my printed version. So that's the language going into the ordinance, and it's followed by the resolution behind it. Little wordy, Mayor. I don't know if you need to read the whole thing. One thing I'd like to point out is in section 7 of the resolution, that's your effective date of collection. The collection of the 2% hotel tax shall be effective January 1, 2016. Or 2026, excuse me. We've been getting the word out. Nicole, what have you guys been doing as far as? Yeah. Yeah. And it is on the city webpage. One of the issues that is going to arise, and I think we'll be able to address it, is the way our ordinances read. If you read chapter 64 collection, every person owning, operating, managing, or controlling any hotel shall collect the tax imposed in section 2263 hereof for the city. The tax shall be collected at the time payment is made for the occupancy upon which the tax is based. So the question was, if someone is prepaying for their stay in, let's say it's spring break in 26 or it's summer, what's the tax collected? Well, the tax collected is 7% if they're collecting it up until January 1st.
Mm-hmm.
So what we'll have to do is some form of like a reimbursement audit where they'll come into Darla, unfortunately, when they go into the system, I don't think there's any other way but to pay the 9% once you log on into the system. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to come up with some type of reimbursement where you come in, you bring in, basically you have to prove it up, right? That it was a full payment, not just a deposit, but it was a full payment made, prior to January 1, 2026. And I don't think there's going to be a lot of that. And it's just this first year. So I think we'll be able to deal with it. It'll be a little pain in the butt for Darla, but but according to 2264, they get to pay the tax upon time of payment. So we'll just have to figure that part out.
Sure.
And in the new ordinance, you guys said it has to be separate. You don't get to say 9%. You say, here's the 7. And then you actually gave verbiage for
For the
owners
2%.
that explain what the 2% is, correct? That's the way this is written. I'm glad that people that have paid for next year, it's based on what our ordinance says is it's at the time you make your payment for the 7%, because that's what it is. Then further down, our ordinance is requiring, let me read this. Each bill or other receipt for a hotel charge that is subject to the tax imposed must conspicuously include the following statement. So on their computer system, you have to tell the customer, and what we've written is, it's a lot. The city of Port Aransas, Texas requires an additional tax of 2% to be imposed on each hotel charge for the purpose of financing a project venue. So it has to be 2 separate line items that our ordinance is requiring people to do.
I don't think it has to be 2 separate line items. It can just be 9% for city tax. Now, if the wording is required to be on there, because
Okay.
we're one of the few cities that's at 7% right now. Almost every city you travel to is already at the 9%. And usually when you pay your hotel bill, it's just 9%. The 7 and 2 are not separated. So I don't think the 7 and 2 have to be separated on your bill. And when they go on, starting on February 20th or February 1st, when they get those tax forms for the month of January stays, it will require them to pay the 9%. It's going to require them to report the revenue. It's going to require them to pay 9%.
But
the consumer from, like, let's say I rent from you, you have to show that to me.
Yes.
Like when you get a hotel in San Antonio, it
Yes.
says, sport facility, or it breaks it
Right.
all out.
Yes. Right.
So you guys have to do that part, but when you submit to Darla, it's
Correct.
lumped.
Correct. But I'm just saying that's what this is saying.
Right, this is saying that
An owner, you have to make
the owner,
sure
yes,
that is the following statement.
correct.
The venue tax has to be separate. Yeah.
Right,
Some
so
cities
it's gonna
it's
show
not.
7 and 2
Mhm.
for what it's for.
And now,
I think if somebody's booking now with the tax rate or booked July 4th for the next following 4th, it should be 7% because we've made the transaction. The contract has been established. The owner has collected the tax at the time of booking. There was no way to foresee in the future what a tax rate may or may not be.
if
Right.
they pay, if they pay, then if they pay in full, then if they just make a contract for a stay with the time of payment, they're going to have to pay the 9%.
When it gets after January 1st. So if on December 31st, I book for December 31st through January 4th. On December 31st, my tax should be based on 7%, not on departure date.
No,
No,
but
not only
No.
if you paid in full.
I checked in on December 31st.
doesn't
What do
matter.
you mean checked in?
But you pay on January 4th.
When
So-
do you pay in full?
I paid today.
Yes, then you would pay
And I
7.
check in on January 31st.
Yes.
I check out I check in on December 31st and I check out on December 4th. No, January 4th.
Like, Jim, yeah.
I should pay my 7% for the time it is.
If that's the way you did it. More hotels than not
pay upon departure.
Hotels do.
Yes.
But the SDR industry, you typically are not just making a reservation, you're paying it up.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
But-
the idea of going to a consumer or having an owner April 4th, go to somebody and say, hey, you want to check in? I know you booked it last year, but you owe 2%. I don't see any owners going to their guests when they booked it a year ago and asking for the 2%. So we're not
How do
asking
your-
for that.
Well, that's, our team's already got a letter out, putting our stuff together, because we do, and I've been reached out by a couple other entities, people in regards to this. And we collect advance payments, but not the full payments.
Right.
And so with that said, we're gonna reach out to all of our guests and we're gonna notify them that this change is taking place effective date, and that when they do check in their future stays, they will have to pay the 9% instead of 7%. And then at that point, they come back at us. And if anybody gets upset or gets totally irate about it, then we're gonna obviously honor it and do whatever we can there. But we're gonna work through it, because I could see on y'all's behalf, how are you gonna know? I'm gonna sit there and try to rent everything at 7% all day long, and it's just gonna be up to Darla and the team here to try to prove that. It's gonna be tough to prove
Right.
on that. I mean,
Right.
that's just
And
my.
it's honestly, the 2% is pretty minimal.
It is. It's what, $1 on every 100 or something.
Exactly. It's $1 on every 100. So
VRBO and Airbnb, they,
Those are.
you have to prepay, you know, for like, I've already booked something for next year and it's already, well, half of it now, and then
Well, you don't have to, you have an
Half of it
option.
now.
you have the option, but I always just do it because
Right.
of stuff like that.
And
You never
some-
know what might
but
pop
some
up.
don't, you know,
Yeah.
if you're gonna do that, you should buy the insurance, because you never know what life
I
can throw your
do,
way.
yeah.
But
But they all require like 2 weeks before or 3 weeks before you go that you pay in full. They always take it out of my account.
but that isn't, you know, so 2 to 3 weeks before is only gonna happen for the first couple of weeks of
Right,
January.
Right.
And so, you
Yeah.
know, but we have no way for our system to say, okay, tell us what you did at 7%, tell us what you did at 9%. The system will not work that way, because it's a secondary software. It goes out, it's going to require them to pay the 9%. If a property manager's saying, but we only collected 7%, then they are gonna have to come in and prove that up to us for us to do a refund of the 2%.
So you hit most of the property managers like us and entities, and you got Life in Paradise, you got a lot of those players. What about the independent homeowners that are like doing maybe 1 or 2 homes on their own? How will they know? I mean, did y'all send
So,
notification to them, or?
We had everybody that's STR registered that has an email. And if
Okay.
you have a property manager, it's going to the
You're
property.
permitted
manager's
registered
email.
with the city of.
But your
Portage.
STR registration for the 1s and 2s, it should be their personal email, because that's how they get that's how we communicate with them for everything. That's how they get their property tax form. That's how they log into the MuniRev system. And so that has already gone out. It went out December 12th. And we also have the pop-ups on the website. We have FAQs on the website. Under the pop-up comes on as soon as you open the City of Port Aransas and explains it. The FAQs is under the short-term rental registration portion. We have some frequently asked questions on there, and it's also, I think, on the finance page under hotel motel tax. We have it in 3 places. But when everyone, you know, those 1s and 2s that don't have a property manager, they're already logging on, paying their hotel tax on an individual basis. And when they get their January hotel tax form, it's gonna be at 9%. It's
So
already
if they don't
written.
collect it, they just have to pay the extra tax.
Correct. They have to pay it, and if they want a refund, they're gonna have to come into us to prove that they did not collect it.
And that they receive payment in full.
And if they receive payment in full and ahead of time, you know, because a lot don't require payment ahead of time.
So if we had a pre-book, we have pre-information in our software system, so if we could print that up to you guys and came to you and said, hey, Darla, look, this was truly 7%, we collected all full up front. And if at that point y'all would consider.
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
having that kind of documentation.
Having that kind of a documentation, but if we don't have that kind of documentation, it's, everyone could say, well, everything was prepaid.
Right.
And how long are they gonna do that?
Are
They're
you
gonna say
gonna put
June,
something out
July.
there to let people know?
Yeah, we'll come up with a
If
reimbursement
you've
policy.
collected
Yeah.
Money in 2025 and made a reservation. The city system is gonna only take 9% of your total revenue, but please come and see us, because we know you didn't collect this 2% last July because the voters hadn't approved. We don't have an ordinance that does it, and be proactive to the owners and the management companies to come back.
But we
See-
do want them to know if you collect it in full. That's the key, that they had to collect in full. If it's just a deposit, or like he said, a 50% payment,
Yeah.
Do
then
you have
nothing to
property
apply.
managers and owners that pay the tax when they do the transaction and pay it?
I'm not following you.
Because you can pick and choose.
You,
when
you'd
pay
almost
the
had to
tax.
pay it all
Or-
up front.
Yeah.
Full. I mean,
Right.
we basically just take the first, there's a certain
The
amount,
deposit.
sometimes take
Check
half,
date or
say, but it's all
check out
based
date?
on the daily rates. So on the daily rate. So in
Okay.
other words, if we're gonna charge, you're gonna come for a 2-night stay, we charge you $500 a night, you're gonna take a deposit of $500. So we'll have that in our books, you come check in, then we're gonna charge you that additional 500 and then all the other stuff that comes along with it, the taxes and everything else. So at that moment in time, we're gonna notify them
Daily,
ahead of
yeah.
time, letting them know, because they know when they did all their reservation agreements and everything else, it talked about taxes and everything else. And then if there's anything that's written that's showing the 7, that doesn't disclose the full 9, then we're gonna do our due diligence, try to be as fair as we can. That's what we're intending to do now. But
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I think.
All right. Is there a motion to approve the ordinance?
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance.
We have a second?
I'll second.
All right, any further questions? Fran, please call the roll.
Councilmember Schmidt,
Yes.
Councilmember Owens.
Yes.
Councilmember Christensen,
Yes.
Councilmember Chambers,
Yes.
Councilmember Krueger,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Haley,
Yeah.
Heard you.
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
We can hear you now.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's
Thank
go.
you, Fran.
Oh, did you fix it, Fran?
Yes,
Yeah.
you got it.
All right. Item D, resolution authorizing the city to enter into an interlocal agreement with the Port Aransas Independent School District, PAISD, for the School Resource Officer Program, setting responsibilities in each entity, term, fees, and for services and reimbursement, and miscellaneous provisions, and directing the city manager to sign said agreement.
Oh, that's you.
Here.
Wow.
Like,
20 years. It's been a rough 20 years.
Oh, yeah. Keep thinking it's the dadgum. Yeah, we did that last one.
This is just the interlocal that we have with the school district to provide officer border services to the school district. The only significant change, I think, in the language was there was some changes to the laws that the schools have to follow, to where they have to have an officer there all the time if they have the program. So we've created a system with the school district to where we've picked some officers that are interested in filling out, and Boyer's done some training with them, so they're familiar with the responsibilities and they'll fill in. And the school will pay them directly instead of the city absorbing that. It'd be an off-duty job, so the school has done that. And this is that was the only significant change to the language in the agreement.
So that's in lieu of if he's absent, sick, or something
Yeah,
like
if
that?
he's on vacation, out on training, it takes vacation or anything like that, they will coordinate getting an officer to work off duty at the campuses and fill in for him. So there's always somebody there.
But it'll be one of our PD.
It will be one of our.
Okay, okay,
Yes.
good. I think that's good.
Yeah, and it will only come from the pool of officers that Boyer's already
Right.
oriented. Yeah, giving them the orientation, kind of walked them through everything, so.
Okay. And we're still covering complete salary and
Yes.
everything for that position,
That is
correct? Okay.
correct.
I was thinking. Seems like when we started this, we were splitting, or there was some
There wa-
kind of
yeah, that
reimbursements.
there was several iterations of what the agreement was supposed to look like. I think at first it was gonna be, we would supply the person, they would supply the car. I don't remember exactly what, there was some kind of problem. with the-
To get a grant,
Mhm.
Yeah,
never got a grant, it's always been 100% city costs,
yeah.
training, cars, uniforms, employee,
Yeah,
workers'
they-
comp, insurance, everything.
I think that what we boiled it down to was that they were able to provide office space and some office equipment, I think is what they supply.
Yeah.
And the state doesn't allow school districts to have police departments.
They do.
Oh,
They can create their own department if they so choose. It's getting harder to
Can
do
they keep
that.
their funding then, or do they still lose? Do
I-
they get any funding?
They would
get
have to be
keep-
able, so T-Cole has come out and there's a tremendous amount of one and two man departments in the state. And most of those are ISD police to where they create a police department and they have, a chief and an officer or whatever. So that has become problematic with keeping up with training and all of the requirements for that. So now every year I have to report to T-Cole that we need to exist. I have to show that we are properly funded, we're properly equipped, we're properly trained, and that there is a need for the department. So theoretically, they could go out and ask to become their own department, but I think they would face tremendous challenges that would prohibit it.
It also,
And cost.
talking to
The
most,
state doesn't allow the school district to keep some money to keep.
No.
No, I think it's an unfunded mandate, basically. I think the school requires them to have security
Yeah.
but they don't give the required funding for it.
Just to.
Yeah. Well, and so the state came out with a new law this past year about providing shields and breaching tools and stuff that they have to keep on campus, but gave no funding mechanism for it. I think the school district spent what, 30,000 on those?
You just had to
Yeah.
find it somewhere.
Yeah. To be able to put it on all the campuses.
and
So-
speaking with a lot of city managers in small towns,
This is how.
the ones that, the ISDs that have these little 1 and 2 person police departments, it gets very problematic between the 2 police departments in town. They start butting heads.
I'm
and-
not asking about
Yeah.
having one. I'm
Yeah.
just saying the state should sit there and go, we
No, they
wanna
don't.
have security for our students but we're gonna take all your money and you figure out how to do it later.
Yeah.
That's pretty much.
Well, I think you guys have done an outstanding job with the program, and I know the school is very appreciative
Yes.
of the relationship. And I think we are very blessed that we have such an outstanding school resource officer that is also a full-time Port Aransas PD officer.
Yes, ma'am.
So in his free time, he can come hit the beach and
Yes.
do all the other fun stuff
Yeah.
outside the school that he loves to do, I'm sure. So,
Well, yeah, so the first day of summer, he's like, oh, thank God I don't have to be in the
Yeah.
school. And about 3 days later, he's like, I'm ready to go back.
exactly. So, yeah, I'm ready to move on. Let's have a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution authorizing the city to enter into an interlocal agreement with the Port Aransas Independent School District for the school resource officer program, setting responsibilities to each entity, term, fees, services, and reimbursement and miscellaneous provisions as directed by the city manager. To sign said agreement.
I'll second.
All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, Fran, please call the roll.
Yes.
Councilor Christensen,
Yes.
Councilor Owen,
Yes.
Councilor Krueger,
Yes.
Councilor Chambers,
Yes.
Mayorperson Crawford,
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. Item E, resolution awarding request for qualifications 2025-14 for engineering services for the new park and paddling access, authorizing the expenditure of funds from fiscal year 2025-2026, Nature Preserve Capital Outlay Account 075-55270, and authorizing the city manager to negotiate the contract agreement and act as the city's authorized representative in all matters related to award and execution of contract.
Hi,
Hello.
background information on this project. This is the 33 acres that the city received from Palmia when they
Opted out of the fire station.
land
Yes.
use.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so HAF worked with us on a conceptual plan for that area. The community feedback was to put in a paddling access park. The conceptual rendering has a play space, a parking area, restroom, driveway, walking trails, birding platforms, and then a boardwalk to a kayak launch on the bay side of the island, which is exciting because the city doesn't provide bay access at any of our sites, our parks or nature preserves. So it'll be a nice new addition to the resources that we offer. And this is to take the next step to do that. So this is engineering and permitting through construction management with an engineering firm. We had a call for proposals and 7 replied, which is a great number for us. We were excited and all were qualified. So it was tough to score, but David, Ray, and myself took to the job And Stan Tech is the firm that rose to the top. We really like their project approach. Their references were good. They've worked with the city of Portland. They've worked with the Coastal Bend Basin Estuaries program, all had good experiences. We are currently working with them on environmental surveying and permitting for the restoration of Charlie's Pasture where the blowout from Hurricane Harvey occurred. That's still in process. And so the coastal engineers that are on this team have been in this area for 20 years and they're part of this larger firm that has resources they can pull from if needed. So we think it was a strong proposal and hope that you do too.
And at this point, we don't have any pricing, right? It's just-
No, when you approve the services, we'll negotiate a contract. We do have. Yeah. I can't remember if Coastal Bend Basin Estuaries gave us funding for this, but it was budgeted.
But pricing wise, they typically, we kind of, we'll squeeze them down to where it's like in the 10 to 13%. We won't let them go anything
Oh.
beyond that.
We have, I'm sorry, I couldn't remember which grant. We have funding from Texas Parks and Wildlife
Right.
for this portion. And then because we received that grant for planning and design, we are very likely to get more grant funds for construction once that phase is in place. So the state, Texas Parks and Wildlife is funding this portion of it.
And if that, will that come to us again, once they get into that contract portion, or it just depends on?
No, this
how-
is giving David permission to
Okay.
negotiate. a
Yeah, this is
contract.
just for design.
Okay, so then all
engineering
the-
services, yeah.
Whenever all the numbers and figures come in. then-
Yeah, then it.
Construction piece.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
it would, come back to you guys for approval of the conceptual and the full design. And then go out to bid. And then once again, it'd come back to you guys to award the bid, once we had the funding in place. So you'll see this a couple more times.
I mean, you look, they're technically qualified, execution risk, strong environmental coastal expertise and defensible procurement decision. I mean,
Mhm.
guys had some good.
Don't have any questions specifically about any of these? Sometimes we get to see the proposals in the package and we didn't get to do that.
I thought all of them were uploaded.
They're online.
They're online electronically, but I know they work. So I just want to make sure
I
everyone
did
got
bring a
to see
paper
them.
one that you're welcome to
Yeah,
look through if.
yeah.
There's a lot of pages.
It was a lot of pages. Yeah.
It was a lot and we
Always
did
a
a
lot, yeah.
quick turnaround too, so we were working overtime to get this done for council. And like I said, out of the 7, I mean, we had our, pick of the litter. We could have been fine with any of them. They were all strong proposals, but there was a few that had strong local ties. And then with the work experience and the references with Stan Tech, we felt like they were the top choice.
You could tell there were some that were in a different league.
Oh, yeah.
It was-
There were kind of three levels kind of fleshed out that were kind of obvious and, there were 2 good ones that really were battling it out. And then, but the one was kind of had the edge, we thought.
Okay, any other questions? All right, is there a motion?
I will motion to approve the resolution awarding request for qualifications for engineering services to Stantec for a new park with paddling access, authorizing the expenditure of funds from fiscal year 2025-2026 Nature Preserve Capital Outlay Account number 075555270, and authorizing the city manager to negotiate the contract and act as city authorized representative in all matters related to the award and execution of the contract.
I'll second.
All right, any other discussion? Hearing none, Fran, will you please call the roll?
Councilor Christensen,
Yes.
Councilor Chambers,
Yes.
Councilor Krueger,
Yes.
Councilor Owen,
Yes.
Councilor Schmidt,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Crawford,
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you very much, Colleen. All right, item F, discuss and take action to confirm the beachfront dune protection permit Plan 2535 is consistent with the city's coastal management plan. The applicant to establish that no dunes exist in the construction site and that no dune permit is required for the construction of improvements. The applicant is Greg Knopp. Property location is 225 Dolphin Lane.
So we've seen a lot of construction going on Dolphin Lane, a lot of no dune permits, because they did not have those in place. This is just another one of those. presented by who I think is quickly becoming our resident expert on no dune permits, Garrett Kipke. He's done all of them recently, which has been nice. This one is very clearly a no dune permit. They are constructing a new deck on the front of their property in what is currently their driveway. So it's, no dunes, just asphalt. We do have to go through the process because it is written into our coastal management plan. I do want to give a little shout out to the GLO who got these comments back to me very, very quickly. They weren't going to be here in time for this agenda item, so I put the agenda item on, crossed my fingers and asked really nicely. They got them
And that
back
made it
in, which is
happen.
really nice for these people because we don't have to wait a whole nother month for their permit that's already been on hold for a month because they didn't realize they needed this in place before. So city staff recommends approval, planning and zoning unanimously approved.
Any comments, questions? Okay, is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve the beachfront dune protection permit plan 2535 and consistent with city coastal management.
I'll second.
All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, Fran, please call the roll.
Councilmember Schmidt.
Yes.
Councilmember Owens.
Yes.
Councilmember Krueger.
Yes.
Councilmember Christensen.
Yes.
Councilmember Chambers.
Yes.
Supervisor Crawford.
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes. All right. Item G, discuss and take action to confirm that beachfront dune protection plan permit 2538 is consistent with the city's coastal management plan. The applicant is to establish that no dunes exist on the construction site and that a no dune permit is required for construction of improvements. The applicant is Paul Gradell, property location 231 Dolphin Lane.
Remodeling on this street is contagious. This is the property next door, also remodeling, building an addition out into the front of their property onto their driveway. Another no dune permit done by Garrett Kipke. GLO did the same thing for me on this dune permit. City staff recommends approval. Planning and zoning approved unanimously.
Is that a dune or a gopher hole in that front yard? For those, we don't have to know about those, do we?
I'll make a motion to approve beachfront dune protection permit plan 25-3 is consistent with the city's coastal management plan.
I'll second.
All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Fran, please call the roll.
Councilmember Owens.
Yes.
Councilmember Krueger.
Yes.
Councilmember Chambers.
Yes.
Councilmember Christensen.
Yes.
Councilmember Schmidt.
Yes.
Chairperson Crawford.
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
All right. Yes.
Motion.
H, discuss and take action on Plan 2529, a replat of lots 8A1, 8A2, and 8B1, Block 34, State Land Survey on Mustang Island, being a replat of lots 8A and 8B, Block 34, State Land Surveys on Mustang Island, City of Port Aransas, Nueces County, Texas. According to the plat recorded in Volume 53, page 138, map records of Nueces County, Texas. The applicant is Chapel on the Dunes LLC, Marlene Lawson, member, property location 620 East Avenue B.
So typically when a plat comes to you guys, or typically when a plat comes to us and it involves less than 4 lots, it's a minor plat and it doesn't go to planning and zoning and city council. In this situation though, it is a minor plat that has a variance from our ordinances that they're requesting. So that's the reason it went to planning and zoning and city council. Typically we stop those from happening, but in this situation, it felt appropriate. It is the property that holds the chapel on the dunes and the
cottage.
The Lawson family, or Marlene Lawson, who is part of the Carter family, is requesting to have that platted separately from the property that they have right now in order to protect it in the future, in case their properties ever want to sell, that dune, chapel on the dunes stays protected. So the only way that they could really carve that out gave that lot a street frontage on 11th Street of only 8 feet, where we normally request 50. So that's the variance request. We did ask them to put on that plat that it's not developable any further than what it currently has right now. So if they needed to make any improvements or do anything to chapel itself, they could, but they couldn't add anything additional onto the property. We figured that way it does no harm to what's currently there and protects that in perpetuity. Her plan is to put that in a trust and leave it how it is. So it went to planning and zoning. It was approved unanimously. All utilities have approved. City engineer also gave it its blessing. So city staff recommends approval.
Nicole, I maybe missed this in here, maybe it wasn't in here, but currently when you drive up to this property, the parking for this little chapel in the dunes is that, kind of decomposed granite gravel area to the left, and which would be the front of all these lots. Is there some easement or agreement or something? Because now, right, I mean, I understand that this is a walkable access now, not a driveway or something up there, but I mean, is there no parking requirement that we would make them have?
So we have never had a parking requirement. They've put the parking in just,
Right.
I think to, benefit the people that go to that
Sure,
temple.
sure.
So we did not ask for any kind of parking requirement for that.
Is one required?
If it was something that was newly built, I would say yes. But because this is in existence already,
So if these other two lots sell and somebody wants to go to Chapel in the Dunes, they just park on the street?
parallel parking on 11th Street.
They don't have any regularly scheduled things, right? Everything's ad hoc. I mean, I know if the church says, hey, we have services on Sunday at 10 o'clock, there's a requirement there, but the fact that they don't
Correct.
operate
They
as-
don't operate as a church. They do the occasional wedding. I had my wedding there. And then I think every once in a while they have tours that people can call and book, and it's typically a family at a time.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I think right now it's still privately owned by the family, and so anything that's done there is done on a private basis.
Correct.
I just don't know going forward if it becomes some kind of public event center. I just want to make sure that they have adequate parking.
Sure. I mean, we can go back and ask them to give up more of that lot A2 where their house sits.
Yeah. How many people? It doesn't hold very many people, so.
Got 6 pews that hold like 2
Yeah,
people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At the
I mean,
most,
probably
yeah,
20
good.
people in there,
Yeah.
maybe.
I think 20 people would be tight.
Yeah, oh
still
yeah,
tight,
no,
yeah.
probably, but
Even
I
10
think we
people.
had about 12 people and it was
It was
pretty
packed.
hot.
Yeah. Jay.
it is a very
Yeah,
special
yeah,
place, and
it is.
I love that
But
they're
yeah, we
doing
need to
this to
protect,
protect,
yeah.
what it is, because I think it's very, very special. I just thinking about, in doing so, where, in down the road, and there would be any need to have some kind of designated parking.
I think it's weighed between the family maybe not wanting to give up that property on the house side that they have. And so that might not allow this plat to go through in that way and offer that protection for the chapel.
Mhm. Well, on-street parking it is. Any other comments?
How wide is our street there?
60.
We should have a 60-foot right of way. I think the actual asphalt of the street is probably a little bit less
That's where I park when I take people to look at it.
on the street.
I didn't even realize there was another place that.
Yeah,
I mean, I
they-
only
there's
really
no
have
signs, yeah.
my wedding as an example, and we had people there, and it didn't seem like it was a big issue, and I think we had 12 or 14 people inside.
So if we approve this today and then you talk to them about a parking area, I mean,
If you approve it, you're approving it without any
Right.
kind of
Okay.
requirement for that, so we can't force them to do it. We could definitely ask.
Yeah.
But there wouldn't be any mechanism for me to extract that from them.
Right.
I think that given what I know about the struggles that they had to get to this point with the family, I think that would maybe kill this plat.
oh, okay. So they just want to protect what's there right now.
I
and
think we've got
for
some family
future.
that wants to sell
Oh,
and some family that wants to protect.
okay. So by us approving this, we're protecting it.
Nicole, where's in this photo, like, where do people, I mean, isn't that one new? Isn't there this little spot there?
Yeah, so I know that a lot of people were parking, and this is Jim Atwell's
Yeah,
80
yeah.
right there. A lot of people were parking there. That's where
Right,
we
yeah,
parked.
yeah.
And I think that he had a conversation with the
But
neighbors.
isn't
So
this a spot?
It's it's right where it's indicated. It's right there in that, if you look at the seat, right there to the left, yeah.
No, there.
the
yeah.
Chapel.
Chapel
I think they had
signs.
two-
They have things that say.
Please park here.
Yeah.
Please park here, and I think it was just to prevent them from parking on
Yeah.
Jim's property,
okay.
because
Yeah,
It seems like it's part of Jim's
Right.
property more
Right.
than part of the lot.
right, true.
Yep.
Once this goes through, that parking could be pulled up. Do we lose
Yes.
the chapel for the dune?
I mean, I think they would
If
probably.
somebody chose to say, hey, I'm my own flat,
I think the current, we don't require, we never required them to put in that parking. I think they did that to appease Mr. Atwell.
okay.
So right now, even if this doesn't get approved, they could pull that and not have that there. Right there, they're offering it as a, as a nicety.
Mm-hmm.
My guess is until that property sells, it will probably remain
How it is.
A little, yeah,
because of the relationship that they have with Mr. Atwell.
gotcha, yeah.
If I buy a lot and I put a storage shed on it, what's my parking requirement? Nothing else on the property.
Well, you couldn't do that if you were in a regular residential zone, but let's pretend for a moment you were, you don't have any parking requirement.
Trying to think, I don't think we have anything in our ordinance anywhere which could. Force it, unless they started having
chapel.
regular services or something.
You bought a chapel. But you bought a lot and put a chapel on it. What's your parking requirement?
We don't build many churches, so I don't have that one on the top of my head. I want to say that it's one for
Right.
every, I would think it's probably pretty close to a restaurant.
No regular service.
Probably not. So if somebody built this as a private chapel that just their family was using, we wouldn't have, like, I could build a church in my backyard and it doesn't make any additional parking requirements.
And fire and safety is still met, like if the church is full of 12 people at a wedding.
Nothing changes right
Right.
now.
Okay.
It is what it is. This just is drawing lines on a piece of paper.
Sure. But it's making it 3 separate properties in case, and which could have 3 separate owners at some point, so.
Correct. Right now, it's 2 separate properties that could have 2 separate owners. It's changing that to
They're
3.
just taking this.
It's just
out of
taking the
Gotcha.
chapel out of the
Right.
equation.
Which is smart to do because somebody could do later,
We can get a fire hose if somebody builds a fence right there to put out the fire check. Right.
I think
Yeah, I
we
would
made it
think so.
concrete.
I
It's
think the
good.
chapel would probably be the most protected thing out of the
Yeah.
whole area.
Exactly. You want to be inside
Yeah.
there because it's pretty
Yeah.
sturdy.
And what's great is they have gotten in what they call a dune easement, which I've never heard of before, down the sides of Jim Atwell's property on the back, the 2 properties that they have, so that nobody can build up close to that dune to undermine that, to protect the chapel even further. So an easement they've gotten.
One space for every 3 seats. For a church.
So that's
Try to
about
go into the
4.
churchy
The
business.
4,
Yeah.
I think we'd stop them.
Yeah.
Because it'd
Yeah.
be,
It would be an
like right
expanded
now,
use.
their use is more like
It's
it's more of a
Right.
monument,
Monument.
right? It's a non-functioning
True.
church. If someone tried to reestablish service there, which there hasn't been, so any use has expired. So they
Until
would
they
have to
prove up
come in,
parking.
they would have to come in for a change of use saying, we want to now be a church, and they'd get
Yeah.
denied.
Right.
Or unless they came up with an alternative parking plan that showed there's
Yeah.
4 spaces.
Yes.
I just think we
allowed
need to communicate that with them.
Okay.
That in doing this, that it's going to eliminate their ability to provide any parking on that lot, right? They don't have it. Right now, as 2 lots, they could establish parking just like they have, right? But in doing this, which I applaud them and I'm glad that they're protecting it, but we need to make sure that they're aware that if for some reason they decided that they're going to go back into the church service business, that it would be required that they would have to come up with some kind of plan to do so.
Sure.
Or a wedding. Wouldn't a wedding there still fall under, you have no parking?
I don't think they've ever stopped doing weddings since I've known it.
But I think that they're also done as a private ask.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
I think that's how it's, so
Yeah, I think it's very rare.
It
Which-
is.
I could have a private wedding at my house and the city's not gonna regulate how many people
True.
Right,
park in my
yeah,
driveway. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, a private ask is different than someone saying, hey, we're a new wedding venue.
Right.
They're
Publishing,
advertising.
Yeah.
advertising. it.
Advertising.
It
and
turns
stuff,
into a
yeah.
rental and.
Right.
I'm just thinking when the families are gone and we have this thing, if you want to go see it, you gotta walk or.
Sure.
Yeah.
What I can do
That's
is put
tough.
together a
Yeah.
letter to give to the family and just keep it on record. This will have a new separate address now that it's a separate lot. Keep that on record here, just so that we've got that approved with this understanding.
Yeah. Okay. Any other discussion or questions?
Make a motion to approve the replat of lots 8-A1, 8-A2, and 8-B1, block 34, state land surveys on Mustang Island. Being a replat. Do I need to read all this?
No.
No.
Okay.
Do you want to say with the letter of understanding regarding expanded use?
With informing the owners that they will not have parking under any potential use changes in the future.
A second.
Okay. Any further discussion? All right. Hearing none. Fran, please call the roll.
Councilmember Krueger,
Yes.
Councilmember Owen,
Yes.
Councilmember Semitis,
Yes.
Councilmember Christensen,
Yes.
Councilmember Chambers,
Yes.
Chairperson Crawford,
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, item J. I'm sorry, item I, presentation by Broadus Associates Del Sol Consulting, Mr. Rob White himself regarding Hurricane Harvey recovery progress and project updates.
Evening, everybody. You should have something in your packet. We'll go in that order. Public safety. What's gone on recently since the last meeting, you know, the antenna, special order antenna that y'all changed from the ugly tower to the one that goes on the roof that came in, as we mentioned last time, and it's been mounted on the roof, glass out of the parking lot. The appliances have been installed. The AED cabinets, the defibrillator cabinets have been installed. The lighted bulletin boards have been cut into the walls and installed. It was pretty complicated, more than you would think. Those are all done. Also the exterior doors, some of them have been installed, and the storefronts have been received as expected the second week of December. So they're going to install those whenever they, hopefully this month, if the subs can get here. But so all the outside doors will be done, storefronts and all that, next week or two, hopefully, before the end of the year, if the subs can get out here. So all that stuff is logistically here. So that's good. Moving on to the gas building, the big thing is next week, they should have power at the gas building, which is needed to continue work. They have to pass a city inspection again. And AEP is scheduled to come out next week, so hopefully they'll have power this week. That will allow them to get it climate controlled. And because they're working on the ceiling tile framing, so they can start doing the ceiling tiles. And there's a new door that was not designed originally. It's being cut from the covered garage into the building, so that can be done also once they get power. And another big thing is there are 17 bollards that go around the building, protect the doors and corners of the building. Those arrived. And there's another 4, what I call serious bollards, that go around the AEP transformer. Those all have arrived and they'll be installed as soon as possible. That was a big deal. Moving on to the fire station. People over there, they're working on the front tower. Got that big crane out there. You can see it pretty much anywhere in the city. So they're working on that front tower. And the main thing is they're looking inside the second floor. So they got all the metal framing up, so you get an idea of what it looks like. You can see the rooms. You been up there, Daniel?
No, we just didn't.
If you ever want to go, I'll take you, or you can go. But you can see the rooms, how it's actually laid out. So you kind of get a feel. It's like, oh, this is gonna be nice. So what else on the second floor? The mechanical, obviously, when you do the walls, the mechanical rough ends, the plumbing rough ends, all that's being done. A lot of work on the second floor. Can't really see it because, you know, they're in the second floor. Moving on to the gas system, you know, they're winding down, as we've been mentioning the last month or two. They're continuing to complete several areas and should be wrapping up the project the first quarter of 2026. The city's officially signed for 4 areas, and they'll have another one officially signed for in a week or so. By next meeting, or let's say, because of holidays, let's say the end of January, I expect another 3 areas, all of phase 2, so that'd be 8 out of 15 areas. Now, what that means for you is everything from like the airport and the Texan south will be city owned and 100% complete. Approximately end of January, first week of February, and then the other 7 sub phases, they're not doing any major stuff. They're not boring anymore. They're just doing what we call doing concrete and restoration. There's no heavy construction, so you shouldn't get any more calls from busted lines or anything. And you only see 1 or 2 trucks at a time as opposed to 12 of them. So that's kind of wrapping up first quarter. The Public Works garage, it's kind of like an office side and a garage side, 3 big bays. The office side, the interior walls are framed, kind of like the second floor of the fire station. Electrical rough ends are being done, obviously, and the roof, steel and decking are done for the offices. Doesn't mean the roof is done because they got a foam on top, but it's dry. The AC work is complete on the office side, obviously, also, and the block work for the whole building should be done next 2 weeks. First week of January, last week of December. So the building will look like that. And some news, we have a new project. It's the Season of Giving. And the mayor and David went to a COG meeting years ago. Like 5 or something, I don't know.
It felt like 5.
For a new drainage grant that HUD, Housing and Urban Development, decided to give Texas a lot of money. COG came out with some formula to divvy up based on your size or something, I don't know. And they told y'all $5,385,600 if you qualified. Well,
Which we didn't.
we did not, because it's based on, since it came from HUD, a lot of restrictions, not like these other grants. So it had to meet LMI, low and moderate income. I had to do this application like you can't believe.
Surveys.
And then and they said,
Yeah.
no, not even close.
Yeah.
You don't have enough low and moderate income people. And then we tried to get urgent need money because we're on an island in the Gulf and cut it down to like 3 million based on some kind of percentage. This thing was really complicated and time consuming. And they said, no. And then we said, well, you can possibly do surveys. So Lawrence and I were running around doing door-to-door surveys in the heat. And we got this information, I compiled it, sent it to them. And
Still
they said no. Said, well, you're not going to qualify us. We said, really? So don't call us, we'll call you at the end. If we have money left over, we'll call you. Well, a few months ago, evidently, I think the mayor and David, somebody got called or an email saying, we got money for you. I totally forgot about it. Not only do we have money for you, we have the whole amount.
Well, first they tried just giving us
Yeah.
3.2.
Right. And then we were like,
And
no.
we went, no. We were allocated 5.3. We won all of it. And then they kind of hemmed and hawed. And after a couple of weeks, they
realized that
This was leftover money that state allocated for Harvey. It was, and
Yeah.
so, we went to this meeting years ago, and knew that we would never get any money because we don't meet the LMI. But Rob and his team and David and staff and Lawrence, God bless him, worked really, really hard. And Rob's telling you the short version of
But-
what they had to do to
No.
qualify.
If it was years,
I don't- Red tape doesn't even begin to describe what they did. So thank you.
Thanks for
Because-
excellent on that.
Well, that-
Are there
Well,
restrictions
here's
on
the
who can
bad
use
part
it?
of the story.
Well, it's not just free money to do anything.
I
So
figure it was.
So the state, they're the pass-through, right? It's coming
Yeah.
down from the feds. It goes to the state. The state distributes the money to the COG.
you're right, to the COG.
And then the state tells the COG, you come up with your rules for how you want to handle the LMI. One way the state allows is for the entire COG, which for us is like, how many counties? It's like
Oh,
13,
gosh.
12 or.
12 or 13 county
Yeah.
region, 14 county region. yeah.
They tell the COG, if you guys want, you can add up all your LMI in all the counties, which you'll easily hit your LMI mark, and then everyone can get their money equally. Or you can be kind of jerks about it and say the LMI has to be met in each city or each county, because then what happens is that the cities that don't meet LMI, they have to potentially surrender their money to the other entities that do meet LMI. So when we went to the COG 4 years ago, we petitioned the COG,
Mhm.
please do a COG-wide LMI so that Port Aransas can get our money. Because if we all join in together, we'll easily meet the COG-wide LMI index. They looked at us and just went, No, we're gonna take your money. So Robstown and Sinton and all the cogs towns voted us down to get our money. But they
It
all
ended up-
struggled.
Right.
They all, it's not easy coming up with projects because
Right.
you got to do it quick. You got to hire engineers. It takes a lot of money to successfully get a one of these projects certified. So lo and behold, they didn't use up all the money. So there was money left over. So that's when the GLO circled back and said, there's leftover money. They weren't successful in spending your portion.
Yeah.
It's now available. So here we are.
Well, they don't have a Rob and a Dave and a Lawrence and a Wendy like we do. so
Well,
Thank you.
there's a lot of people that got a lot of
I'm
money.
sure. Yeah. I can only imagine.
Fortunately, the city already had some drainage projects halfway in the works and
Yeah.
Urban dusted them up. Originally it was 6, but now it's way more expensive. It's down to 4. They expanded to 4. So this will be 4 new drainage projects, all in the city limits.
Nice.
Well, one of them's out front, right?
Yeah, one of them's
Yeah.
A, which I believe kind of runs under this road.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a while to get permits and all this stuff. So
Oh,
it might
I'm
not be
sure.
next week. But,
We've been waiting this long.
really,
So it's this one out front and then it's some of the big
Down on the.
drainage outfalls as you go down the highway.
yeah, it's kind of, can't really point them out, but, main was right here, for the city.
Yeah.
It's under this road, so the road's gonna be tore up probably.
Yeah, we threw this one in because we wanted to get rid of the ditches in front of City Hall.
Yeah.
So that it'll
Oh, that
allow
would be good.
more on-street parking and I think it ties in right here to this manhole in the corner.
Correct.
And it goes down right to about, what's the first street? Sixth?
Slightly past 6. They-
Yeah,
Yeah.
they Made it a little bit longer,
Yeah.
since we cut 2 off. So.
Yeah.
But that'll improve a lot of the
Hopefully
drainage on that street too.
That'd be good.
Good news is it's approved. We haven't received the contracts yet. They promised me we would have the first week or 2 of December. So I've been pestering them. And I found out that it's in a folder, the contracts in the folder has to get signed by all these different offices. They don't have it yet. Could be any day. So Darla or somebody will be receiving the contracts to the city, and it's 100% grant. There's no city match. When I told Darla that there's no city match, she promised to put me back on the Christmas card. Told her that. So $5,385,600 will be in a contract any day now. Right.
Merry Christmas to us.
Yes, yes, yeah.
So any questions on any other projects?
Are all the opening dates that we covered last time, those dates sort of still the same or?
They slide a little bit. I got them right here.
Okay.
Okay.
I hand wrote it, so it's funny. Public safety slipped a little bit, but anyway, public safety, March 2nd. Gas building, March 5th. Fire station, April 16th.
Of 2026?
Good question. Yes.
Just thought I'd throw that out there.
This is not me. This is on Victory's work schedule. It just came out Friday.
What was fire EMS? What day?
Fire is April 16th.
Oh, okay.
I already said the gas system, sometime in the first quarter, it's kind of a different animal. Public Works, June 8th. And that's Victory's scheduling. We'll see what they have next. All right, any questions?
I've got more optimism than
Yeah.
I will work over the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much,
Rob.
Rob.
The hard work.
All right, item J, a resolution authorizing the purchase of 1 ambulance for the Emergency Medical Services Department from Siddons Martin Emergency Group LLC through Buy Board for a total amount of $390,650 to replace Unit 526, authorizing funding from fiscal year 2025-26 capital outlay emergency services account 5061-308, and authorizing city manager to act as executive officer and authorized representative of the city in all matters pertaining to said purchase.
Okay, so this is a budget item that we had in there, and essentially, like I said, we're trying to get ahead of the curve just because these delays have been so long on the ambulances. I mean, the one we're currently waiting on, it's now they're saying the end of January, which would be I think that's 38 months we've been waiting. So 526, in order to stay on our rotation schedule and to try to keep these ambulances from being in the shop all the time, that we're just gonna go ahead and try to get ahead of the curve and get this thing ordered. I said on their proposal 24 to 30 months, but then when I talked to them, they said it's still 3 years right now. And, they do believe it's gonna ramp up a little bit, but they've been saying that for about a year. And we've been
Yeah.
pushed, so I don't know.
What do you do? right?
Yeah, you just gotta order them, get them in line and get them when we get them, I guess. So, any questions?
Maybe we're in the business.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and they're building them, I mean, thousands of them out there.
Wow. Okay, well. Any questions? Do we have a motion?
Make a motion authorizing the purchase of one ambulance for the emergency medical service department from Sidney Martin Emergency Group.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. Fran, please call the roll.
Councilmember Christensen,
Yes.
Councilmember Chambers,
Yes.
Councilmember Krueger,
Yes.
Councilmember Bowman,
Yes.
Councilmember Schmidt.
Yes.
Chairperson Crawford,
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Right. Item K, first reading amending chapter 2 administration, article 3 municipal court by adding a new section 234 collection fee to establish a fee to defray costs of collecting delinquent fines, fees, court costs, and other debits pursuant to article 103.0031 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, providing for severability and establishing an effective date.
Do you remember a couple months ago, we hired Purdue Brandon law firm to assist us in collecting delinquent fines for the court?
Yes.
And the cost of that collection is passed on to the defendant, and they can be charged 30% for the collection of this. And this is the ordinance that will codify that. It will require 3 readings. So once this is passed, Purdue Brandon has been working with the court on getting everything set up on the software level so that once this passes in February, this should be able to start collecting delinquent fines for us beginning around the 1st of March. And we're adding a section 2-34 in the municipal court administration portion of the Code of Ordinances to place this.
Pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward.
Anybody have any questions? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the first reading of the ordinance. What else do I need to say here? The first reading of amending chapter 2, administration article 3 municipal court by adding a new section 2 through 34 collection fee to establish a fee to defray cost of collecting delinquent fees, fines, court costs, and other debts pursuant to article 103.0031 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, providing for severability and establishing an effective date. Read it all.
I think Joellen seconded. Is that correct? Was that
Well, I
her?
was coughing, but I will
Oh.
second it.
Okay.
You
Just making sure. Normally you'd be right there on top of it, Joellen. I'm just getting you in there. Okay, awesome. Fran, please take the roll.
Councilmember Schmidt,
Yes.
Councilmember Owen,
Yes.
Councilmember Krueger,
Yes.
Councilmember Chambers,
Yes.
Councilmember Christensen,
Yes.
Chairperson Crawford,
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, we are moving on to city manager report, item 8.
Okay, here's your handout.
Mhm.
Current update on the non-FEMA projects. You guys should come do a tour. So if you want to do a tour, except I'm gone next week, but that first picture there, Civic Center ballroom renovation, the drop ceilings come a long way. It's gonna be really cool. So we're really excited about that. A lot of workers every day. There must be what, 20 people on site every day or more, maybe 30. I mean, Debbie and Jay's really getting after it. They're moving good. The backside here, the breakout rooms, they're all under roof now. Steel walls are going up, so you can now kind of walk the layout, which is kind of neat. Gives you an idea how it's shaping up. Looks really neat. And then on the admin side, they're further along over there, and they've done the it's all blue, but that's exterior waterproofing. Getting ready for the ethos. EIFS stands for Exterior Insulation and Finish System. In case you want to know what
This is what
EIFS
it's like
stands
up
for, it keeps getting thrown out there.
The disclaimers and insurance.
Yep. On the second page there, that is a view from the parking lot out here, looking at the large windows of the new breakout room. So those are the big breakout room windows. It's going to be very neat. In the ballroom, electric, mechanical, and then all the audio visuals is all underway. They're also sheetrocking. Blackout painting is finished. On the admin side, waterproofing, I already said that. Mechanical and electrical continue inside. And then we are working with the architect on dressing up the back courtyard, what's left of the back courtyard. We're going to kind of get rid of the big block walls that are back there, redo the beds, put some brick paving down, fence in a section of it. So it'll be a really great addition to the, renting the main facility here. So we're working on that. Streetscape venue project. We've been working with EDSA. Right now, currently, we kind of reached out right before Thanksgiving, and we're basically just reviewing the former contract and seeing how we want to amend that moving forward. So we'll probably have something early June on how we want to move forward with that. Community center renovations.
January.
Or early January. Yeah, early January, sorry. Community center renovations, it's going really good. As I reported last time, all the subfloor was rotted. So they got that all removed and they have it 100% installed. So now they're kind of catching back up with the flooring, which I think in the long run is probably a better thing than, we were just patching it here and there, and it's going to look a lot better with a contiguous subfloor all in there. What's that?
When do you think they'll finish that?
They're moving pretty good on it. In the other picture, the bathrooms are progressing really nice. They have all the tile works done in there. They just need to grout and then finish the floor and put in the last of the the hardware, toilet bowls and stuff like that. But the bathrooms look great, and they finished all the ADA decking and ramping, all the new ramps and decking around that. So that's getting really close. Once they get these floors down, they'll move pretty quick in there because they got all the drop ceiling in there, drywall's all up and floated. So it's progressing. I mean, that floor kind of dinged them, and plus they've had some turnover there, so they've been through a couple of their superintendents. So that
I think I've asked this, what's the flooring material?
it's hardwood.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've always tried to keep it what it was like originally, so we try to keep a little bit of the original look. So
Will there be any, like the seeing all the walls and everything being exposed, will there be any kind of internet or any kind of modern day kind
But yeah, Peggy's tricking that out with with new audio and stuff. So yeah, she gets in there and gets her hands on it. Yeah. Beach Access Road B. I drove it today. It was open. So I said, hey guys, the road hasn't been finalized and inspected. Please put the barricades back up. So they're getting the barricades put back up. Because we still have to do the striping, the turn lane's finished, but we have to restripe it. And then we're still working with TxDOT on getting some proper signage put in. So we want to make sure all that signage is good with our proper stop signs and all that before we open her up. So, but it's getting very close.
It's nice. I walked
Yeah.
down it the other
Yeah.
day, a couple weeks ago. It's really nice.
I mean, it'll probably be open by, I think, well, depends on TxDOT with their signage, but definitely, like into January. Yeah, it'll be ready for spring break, put it that way.
Perfect.
Bulkhead Park, not any movement on that. Still working with EDSA. Lifeguard building, no movement on that. Still waiting for our lay down yard to clear off a little bit more. Rec Center's really progressing. Those photos are pretty interesting. Those are the tip up walls. So they poured the gym slab, the gym floor concrete slab. Then they put this sealant down on it and then some type of film, and then they pour the tip-up walls right on top of the gym slab. And they just brought out the crane. I think it was today or yesterday, but the big crane is out there. So as soon as these finish curing, there's 22 of them. They'll start lifting those into place, and I think they actually weld in brackets. So they tip up the big wall and then they weld in these brackets and they all kind of lock together. So that's going to be in the next couple of weeks. They'll start erecting the gymnasium walls. And then they've poured about 75% of the slab is poured. But moving good. Very happy with them. Avenue G and Station Street traffic light. I think no change since last month. We've given them the notice to proceed. Right now, they're just ordering parts. It takes about 5 months of that, and then they come out and they can assemble everything pretty quick. So that's city projects. Any questions?
No other questions? Okay. Thank you, David. All right, we'll move on next to accounting and finance, Darla.
So I was not here last month, but you do have your financials in now for both last month and this month. And we are starting the year off with a bang. Our hotel motel tax is up 30.46% for the first 2 months of the fiscal year. A lot of that is attributable to the wonderful weekend we had in October. From what everyone was saying, we were up almost 36% for stays in October.
Is that new that all the schools are off for like a 4-day weekend? I mean, I don't remember that like 5 years ago.
Yeah, the whole week.
We had a good week.
Yeah, I think it's like 5 years ago. It wasn't like this, was it?
No. February also.
Yeah.
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 Open weekend in February 14th.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a bigger weekend.
It was crazy. So.
Yeah, which that's around President's Day, or they try to put it around President's Day and Columbus Day. Columbus Day. Yeah. 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 It was the weather and
It was-
whole
Yeah,
thing
the weather was
aligned.
absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And the traffic
Yeah.
was heavy.
Heavy.
And sales tax for that same percent, those first 2 months is up over 13.4% for the fiscal year. And our golf cart sales, we are done selling 25 plates. So we sold 6,759 for 2025 compared to 6,189 in 2024. 2026 plates and beach parking permits are officially on sale. We started selling them Monday. So come in, get your stocking stuffers for beach parking permits, come get your plates, and we're starting the vanity orders and come get it.
She said that my wife bought 4 today.
I'll be in tomorrow.
A little,
That's one of my favorite Christmas gifts.
yeah, I
From
think it's a great
customer
Christmas
every year.
gift. And they're only $12 this year.
Yeah, get them now.
Get them now while they're hot. So every year you have it, not every year, we try to do different months, different department directors standing here giving reports, and I'm your guest star tonight in finance. I am changing up my report after
Modernizing.
17 years of standing here saying the same thing every month. So
I'm so proud of you.
this is not active yet on our website. January 5th, we have another meeting with this company called ClearGov. There's several cities that ClearGov will put things out there on finances. You can actually do something they have called a digital budget book, which someday we want to get that on there too. But we're starting with their transparency module. there is going to be a link on our website. And as I said, we're hoping to get this active in January, maybe February, that's going to take you off of our website and put you into this ClearGov transparency model for finances. So there's several paid little tabs up top where you can see overview, revenues, expenditures, demographics. So here's just some demographics on the city. I'll have Brand's my driver. Just kind of tells you the population, the median home value, median household income. I don't know if there's much else on. So it talks about your revenues in the general fund. You can toggle down to the different funds there to show, you know, the whole city, different funds. Then it has bar graphs because we've uploaded data from our budgets from 2019 to current. And I don't think there's much else on the demographic page. But then if you go to the revenue page, it will give you a breakdown of revenues of what's taxes in the general fund, what's license and permits by percentage, pretty little bar charts, pretty pie charts. And then it gives you the percentage of what is, you know, taxes per capita for the year. Same thing for license and permits. It'll go down to reimbursements, intergovernmental, the different categories we have for revenue sources in our budget. Then the real neat area
Darla, how does
is,
all this populate?
so we have to put data into their system.
Yeah.
And then it populates by how we have it broken down. And it's just really cool software that it just works.
And
But we have to
how
put in the
often
data.
will you guys do it?
So most of this is budget based and we're not putting in there weekly and monthly financials. This is looking at on a year. Now there are a couple of things that I'll get to later that I want to know what the appetite is of the council. So then you have the expenditure section is pretty cool. It didn't pop up, did it? Of course, it's not going to work for us when we want it to. So there it is. So on the expenditure page, when you go to the expenditure page, you can put in what your city tax bill is for your property. And when you do that, we're using the $1,111. $1,111 of city tax is the tax this fiscal year on an average homesteaded property. So that's why we're using that amount. So then when you go to 1,111, it will tell you for your tax dollars of that, $364 of that bill is going to support the police. 145 is going to support all the buildings. And this is just the general fund, of course. 107 is going to support EMS. 79 is going to support the central operating, which is your utilities, your insurances, public works. 65, that does not include your beach department. Then fire 65, it goes on down to Parks and Rec. That does not include RDC, which is the majority of where your Parks and Rec programs really lie. They don't really lie in the general fund. But IT, $44, admin 30, finance $25, city secretary 24, planning 22, library 21. It's just, you can put in your different tax rates and it'll show you how your tax dollars break down. What we do not have on here yet is debt. We have that ready to be loaded. It's going to give a listing of all of the debt that the city has. We have a meeting with them January 5th to try to create some more things. What we do want to get on and we don't have on yet, and I can show you if you still have Open City or Rockport. See, they have a tab called projects. We have so many projects. We're so project heavy. You can go and put in what your projects are. You can put in pictures, and then you can give a breakdown of how you're paying for that project. So like our CDBG drainage grant that's going to come up, it's going to be 100% grant funded. But when you go to something like, go to their city hall. I think that's the one I wanted to look at. When you go to City Hall, we'd have for different projects, you're going to have some FEMA dollars. Say if it's the fire station for us. You're gonna have some FEMA dollars, you're gonna have some insurance, you're gonna have some tax anticipation notes, and you may end up even having some tax dollars. And then when we put in those things like that, it's gonna show the citizen where it's coming, how much it's being funded from the different sources. So all of those things are kind of on an annual basis, just open transparency. There's another tab that Rockport is not using it. Some cities use it. No, they do have theirs online. Some cities do this, some cities do not. We can do our checkbook on our website, load it up every time we write checks, and that's in real time. That would be every week we're changing the website. There are advantages to that because it's very transparent. The comptroller does like it. Your finance people that talk to you will give you a word of caution because your vendors can be on there and anybody can fake us out and say, hey, I'm Island Construction and this is changing and this is changing. And then, you know, we would verify, but you can have a lot more fraud. Sometimes the more you put out there for vendors and for fraudsters to look at where you're spending your money, how you're spending your money, there can be a little danger. I am willing to do what the council and everyone's wanting out there in transparency. We can start with everything else. Y'all can think on the checkbook and I can ask you in a few months. We're not ready to launch that anyway, but you know, there's a school of two thoughts. So, but it's really cool software. We're really excited. I think it's going to be a good thing. There's going to be a link on the bottom of the homepage is where we think we're putting the banner. It's just going to say, you know, financial transparency, click here. We're also going to have it under the finance department. I'm excited about it. I think it's good. I think it looks professional. I think it, Brock, one of our chief accountants has worked very hard on getting all this data uploaded. We have our next meeting with them January 5th. For us to look and check over and see when we're ready to launch. And what you're looking at now is my login, which is not available to everybody. I'm just looking at what we've put in to date. So
Very cool.
I think it's really cool.
The demographic information, I saw a little bit of a disclosure about where that information comes from.
Yes, the company did that for us. We did not have to get the demographic information. They did that. I think a lot of it was census data. Does it have a disclosure down a little bit below?
I think there was, data source American Community Survey 5 years. I mean, that's clearly probably not accurate. I mean, I just think we need to be careful about what I think it's very cool to have a lot of these things, but whatever demographic information we use needs to have full disclosure and make sure that we think it's as accurate as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to be to the very
and they are
last
due
person, but
I'll tell you that I tried to start this years ago and they put the demographic information on us and we couldn't do it. I mean, we can't.
Yeah, some of it, maybe you don't even want on there like that right there.
Right.
Daytime population, I can tell you it's not 5,061.
coming
And-
in. Just think that, that might be.
And I can ask him to remove certain things that can be removed, or I can have him investigate it more too, because daytime population, I don't think 5,061 is even accurate for this time of year with everybody you have coming in, contractors, different people from other things, but people that work here, period. But when you get into the summer months, it definitely is not 5,061.
Yeah. No, and I would hate for someone to go out and start gathering information about us from the website and then try to use that for some qualifications or information and then come back and then we're in this like constant battle to.
Yeah, I'll talk to him about removing that because I can tell you that one's not a good accurate.
And how would they know that? Yeah.
Population by age group? That's going to be, I would think, from census data.
The county has it too.
The county has it too.
Exception. Well, it has based on homes.
They know how many people live in your house and what their ages are?
When they, from
They do
census, they
census.
do.
No.
That's once every 10 years.
Yeah.
But that's the stuff it's only gonna,
Yeah.
I mean, we could not do demographics, but this thing does work a lot on how many your population has and different things. If we pull out different demographics, I don't know how their system works.
47% of married. I think it's very great that you're moving into a new digital technology age, Darla. Hopefully this is helpful information to you and your staff and the way that,
Well, we were hoping it's helpful for the citizens. I mean, that's who we're doing it for versus the staff. So that a citizen can see where their tax dollar goes, how their tax dollar goes. I think of a lot of your married things is if they're pulling things from the county, you've got to state on when you're a property owner, whether you're married or not. I mean, those are things that are reported. If you feel it's inaccurate,
I just
know I could talk to
can't tell you the last time someone in the county asked me if I was married. I mean, it's an interesting data point. I don't know where it would come from.
Income tax, but you could file separately.
Yeah, but you can do, but you still have to report that you're married. You can do married filing separately and married filing jointly, but you have to report you're married. And on your property tax bills, it's usually,
They know.
your property is registered usually as joint property. Do you ever register it in one name?
Yeah, no, it is, but I
Mine
mean,
says married.
But as soon as something's owned by an LLC, you don't know who's what.
Yeah.
I just think.
Married, but I'm arguing with my wife a lot.
Yeah.
We should have that different.
Yeah. I mean, I think from a transparency standpoint, for a lot of information, I think it's great, particularly when you can show where the city is spending money and how that divides, like your tax dollar. I think that's great for people to
Because-
know that if my tax bill is $3,000, X goes to here, this.
And if you want it to just be population, we could just do population and say, we won't tell you anything else about demographics if you don't.
Darla,
Well, I
did
didn't
this change
think
what's
we were-
required from the state that we have to put on right now? I mean, it's always the budget, right? But did they add to
No,
it?
you can get gold stars with the state comptroller for having more transparency things, these type of things. Checkbook.
It's always in the legislature. There's always people wanting to
Right.
add to it.
Right, they want to add to it, but it's not required yet, but you can get
The
kudos.
budget's required.
Yes.
Yeah.
An audit.
Yeah.
But you can get kudos for things like this.
Checkbook, like the name of the person you wrote the check to, including
Staff salaries.
what somebody's check
Um,
was.
yeah.
It's the
Well,
checkbook.
we don't write individual paychecks for the most part. Very few people
It'll
get a
just say
check.
payroll.
It's just gonna say payroll
Payroll.
because we don't.
Right, it goes
We
into
don't post
ACH
to that
VAT,
type of-
right, sure.
Mhm.
You don't need that.
Level. But. Anyway, that was my report.
Thank you.
Very small.
you.
Yeah.
If you're excited, we are too.
All right, Nicole, you're up, ma'am.
So in your packet, you'll see our building permits so far year to date is about 103 with everything that we've got under review. Those have been issued now. It's definitely down a little bit, but we're still busy because of the rollover, because those houses don't get built in a year. So we have, many years of houses that we still inspect every day. Code enforcement, October was, and I apologize, that should say November. November was much slower. We are doing much better on patrols and catching people working without permits now. So that's starting to be a pretty regular thing. Code enforcement also took pictures and photographed every sign that they could find in town. So we've got that catalog to work with. People have started been notifying about our new sign ordinance, and come January 1, that will start being enforced. We probably will give a little bit of leeway to get people to get those signs down, but hopefully February 1, all the signs that shouldn't be there will not be there any further. Total active short-term short-term registrations were 3,270. The same time last year was 3,160, so ticking just slightly up. She completed 48 inspections last month. We received no complaints to our hotline in November. She issued 7 citations to just one different property, and she has already begun to approve the registrations for 2026. So she had 619 approved in the month of November. Those opened up, I want to say the 3rd of November, whatever that first Monday was. So people are chugging along. That's about almost 20% of the registrations that we had this year. And I know this month has already been well above that. So she will have a busy December and January to get all of those up and going. And Laura gave me that little blurb that's at the end, talking about additional short-term rental back taxes that were collected. She said that she's got 7 currently on a payment plan, and everything else has been paid in full. So no questions. Tried to make it short and sweet tonight.
Yeah. Nicole, do you want to talk a little bit about the wayfind signs? Because that seemed to be your project and that's starting to go up for people that
It is my project.
Yes.
But it is.
Seems to be.
They look good. I've seen some pop up.
They're coming along.
Take dual credit with Colleen, who's been instrumental in getting that done as well. I would say a giant majority of the signs are in kind of her wheelhouse. They have started going up. They did their first round. You can see them in different places around town. They came back and did some touch-ups for some things that we asked them to. And then they are coming back in early January 12th through the 16th to start putting up more of those signs. And then some of the really impressive ones will be beginning in February. So hopefully we have this all wrapped up before summer starts next year and everything will be beautiful.
That'd be great. Okay, thank you. All right, Daniel, you're up, sir.
Okay, also gonna be a short and sweet one. Call volume 66 calls in November, so definitely, I mean, kind of on pace for the previous years, but at the same time, definitely a big slowdown from October and coming out of summer and everything else. Transport rate 60%, so the calls that we are going to, it seems like we are transporting most of them. We have a influx of elderly right now that have blood thinners and stuff like that. So pretty much out of precaution, if you fall down, we take you in, make sure you don't have a bleed or anything like that. So that's definitely been going on the rise. A couple of mutual aids this time. We had 4 of them. We'll go over to Aransas or Ingleside, and let's see here, transport after that. Our response time dropped a little bit, so 4 minutes and 8 seconds, which is good because right now you think when the call volume goes down and you're kind of used to sitting around and doing everything else, you think it would go up, but these guys are excited to get out of the door right now because they're going to start ready. So they get out there. Let's see here. A few of the highlights, we went and had lunch with the elementary kids whenever they did the big lunch deal. It was pretty good. And I don't know if any of y'all ever get a chance to go by there, but I'll tell you that the new cafeteria lady and how they're doing the scratch cook and everything else, the food is actually very good.
Yeah.
I know that their numbers have shot up on how many lunches are sold.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. But it was cool to go sit with all the kids and let them scream and ask you a bunch of questions and stuff like that. So it was fun. We did standby for the Flynn's 5K run, Veterans Day ceremony, which is always an awesome program that they do at the school. Stand by there. We did the homecoming parades, and then myself, Erica, and Elliot all went to the Texas EMS conference there in Fort Worth. And so a lot of good education there. And then, of course, the fourth quarter GTAC, it piggybacks with this. So I go in 3 days early. We do our GTAC meeting and then go into the conference. So it's a long week being gone, especially the week before Thanksgiving, but at the same time, got it all done. I think that's all I got. Anybody got any questions?
You were a hit at career day.
Oh, you career as well.
I think me and you. Dave, yeah, I put tinsel in girls' hair, so I was real.
Yeah.
That was really fun, wasn't it, Dave? The lunch was good. The lunch was exceptional. Kate Lowe made homemade chicken pot pie.
Oh,
So good. I guess that'll be on next month's report, right?
that's right, November. All right, thank you, Daniel. Okay, Chief Stokes, you're up, sir.
So for November of this year, we've done a little over 2,400 calls for service this year. We're staying pretty steady throughout the year. You can see the breakdown of the different calls that we've had come in. We filed 125 charges with the municipal court, made 26 total arrests. Of the 26 people that were arrested, we filed 34 total charges against them. 2 people were arrested on warrant, 11 were charged with alcohol-related offenses, including 2 DWIs. 2 drug-related crimes, 1 person charged with sexual assault of a child, and 1 person was charged with resisting arrest. And some of these people were charged with more than 1 offense. We had 8 violations regarding minors, either alcohol, tobacco, or some type of drug-related deal, and 1 golf cart citation. I have a feeling that's not going to last much longer. As of the end of November, we were slotted with 27 sworn and 7 dispatch full-time employees authorized. We have 1 dispatch opening. We're gonna hold that dispatch position open for a little bit. I have one of my officers that is on light duty because she's pregnant, so we had to pull her off the street as she progressed through her pregnancy, and she's filling in for that open spot. So we're gonna let her do that for the next few months, and then we'll get back to heavy recruiting on the dispatch position. We have filled 25 of the allotted 27 slots that we have. And we've got some interviews scheduled. I've got one that's about to start background here in the next week or so. So we anticipate filling those up hopefully before spring break. The annual toy drive is underway, and we anticipate another good year. And I kept it to 1 incident, but I think it's pretty noteworthy to show the kind of work that some of these detectives get assigned and do. So in August of this year, we had a victim that came in and was reporting a sexual assault that occurred almost 20 years ago when she was 13 years old. At the time that this occurred, they reported it to the school and were under the impression that it was reported to law enforcement and that some action had been taken. She recently found out that that wasn't the case, that her mom did report it to the school, but it didn't go through any further proper channels. Detective Matt Johnson was assigned that case, and he was able to contact, with the help of Officer Boyer, they were able to dig through some school records and found that the employee that it was reported to at the school district actually kept some really good notes. So they were able to start to corroborate and find witnesses and find the location where this allegedly occurred and gather enough information from that case 20 years ago to actually author an affidavit for a warrant, get the warrant, and then track the guy down in Tennessee, where he has been homeless and literally living under a bridge at a homeless encampment there.
Wow.
So he reached out to the United States Marshal Service. They have a task force here in Corpus, and we know some of the members there, so we were able to make a contact, and they accepted the case to be able to track the guy down. They transferred it to Tennessee, and they found the guy and got him arrested. So yeah, after 20 years. So he is now in jail, charged with aggravated sexual assault of a child.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I thought that was very noteworthy. That was some really good police work.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, 20-year-old case. Yeah, literally living under, literally
Make
living
that
under a
show
bridge.
cold case.
Yeah,
files.
that's right.
Good.
Wow.
Anybody have any questions or anything for me?
Any questions for James? No? All right.
If I don't see y'all, you'll have a Merry Christmas.
That's right. You too.
Thanks, chief.
All right. So item 10 is city council comments and items for future consideration. And that is my comment, that I wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and
Yeah.
Happy New Year. January will be here soon.
Texas A&M girls up 2 sets to 0 over Pitt.
In case you wanted to know, right?
I'll sleep better than mine.
All right. We're adjourned.
Look, you